our first conversation this morning. Now, you see, business spaces is Tuesday. We talk about office business, office beats, and the like. Business spaces are usually, apart from the fact that they are places where economic activities, transpire, they're very often a watering hole for a lot of us. Some people have developed their social skills in their places of work. Before they got their jobs, many people or some people didn't have very good friends. A good number of people didn't even know where the nice restaurants are. We're yet to get good Medicare, because they're just in their houses. But, when they decided to work, decided to meet friends, office gatherings, and the like, which is pretty good. And I encourage that. But one thing that is very clear in office space that there are rules, or there ought to be rules and regulations, rules of engagement. This morning, a very disturbing video of how this was prepared or whatnot is not the issue here. I'm not here to talk about the video. I'm here to talk about the practice, because I have seen that practice a lot in Nigeria and in River State. Some of you business owners act like gods, like kings, before your employees. Some of you treat them like less than human. Some of you talk down on them. Some of you even go as far as embarrassing them in front of their own children or their family members. Come here, Uncle, you stupid boy. You don't go pack that thing when there for there. Meanwhile, his younger brother is there. His son is there. Or some cases, even his wife is there. Now, my question this morning, should you choose to join in the conversation, is simple. How exactly should discipline be enforced in workspaces? Because this video I got to see, the owner comes in, is a salon, right? A hair salon for men, barbing salon. And the man is obviously not pleased that one of his staff members is not wearing the company approved attire. The company says, oh, wear this kind of clothes. And the man says, for whatever reason. Now, in any scenario, we know that there are some employees that are very stubborn, very difficult. They have a big problem with their thought processes. They make your work very difficult. But ladies and gentlemen, this owner of this company says, I have warned you before, right? And because you refuse to listen, something is going to happen to you today. The man basically undresses this young man in front of other people. Now, it's very possible that it's a skit, but I have seen something like this happen here in Port Harcourt. I've seen, shop owners coming, and then in front of customers, there's an errand staff member. Maybe the person came late. Maybe the person spilled water. And this madam, this Oga, descends some heavenly blows on his staff. Imagine you coming to wash your hair. The madam comes. Who no carry this and say, why no say? And as the girl is trying to talk, the owner of the place slaps her. Stupid girl. And then let's not forget that how some of you owners have told your staff members, if you come to work later than 6:05, I will deduct 1,000 naira from your salary. The salary, ladies and gentlemen, is 25,000 naira. 25,000 naira. You expect this person to leave his or her house in Rumigbo and get to mile 3 before 6 o'clock or 6:30 in the morning. Meanwhile, you have made no extra incentive, no extra funds available for his transportation, but you want this person to basically trek every morning. It's kind of like the same thing that I hear in Lagos. So, on this Pokey Talk station this morning, yes, they are very difficult staff members, very difficult employees. But how do we enforce discipline? What's the proper way? Because some of you are basically tyrants at your place or places of business.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
Hello, Port Harcourt. With
017-923-0007, 0817923-0007, 0817923-0002. Once again, 0817923-0007, 0817923-0003. WhatsApp is 08090306416, 08090306416. That's where you find us on WhatsApp. Facebook and X at Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH. Was it a few days ago, if I'm not mistaken, or yesterday, that we had a caller who said, look, somebody was caught doing something wrong in the office and they sacked the person immediately. They did not ask the person to strip naked like some of you have done in this country, in this Port Harcourt. Hey, person thief tissue paper for here. I keep tissue paper. It's not complete. All the workers come line up. Then you ask them to all stripped, to be stripped rather, in front of strangers because you are the owner of the company. Chidoze is on the line from Elekaya. Good morning, Chidoze. We have Okoko and Rumokuta. Go on.
Yes, sir.
Go on. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, go on, Chidoze.
Okay. Well, the matter you're discussing is a serious one. In those days, I had someone I was working for. That was when I was running my part-time program in UST. You can imagine me, I would trek from Ekwe Street to Transamadi. He was paying me 25,000 naira. I would trek from that place to Transamadi, Wasco then. But I would need to I had to now go back to school before 4 o'clock. My dear, if you see me, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for me. Then you will expect me to put in my best in the workplace. Because most of these our employees don't have their employers at heart. So
I think it's that way. Most of the employers don't have the employees at heart. Okonkwo is on the line from Rumokuta. Okonkwo, good morning to you.
Good morning, Brother Jude.
Good morning, please.
All the companies across the world, factories across the world, industries, institutions, organizations, agencies, ministries, and parastatals, they have their service ethics. Do and don't. Even in this, our good platform, Nigeriainfo, you have your service ethics. Then those that work under these institutions, they should keep to the ethics, they do and don't. Because that's the meaning of ethics, they do and don't. They should keep to that so that their employer will not be insulting them.
Fine, but we know
engaging them on fiscal fight.
Okay.
Again, by the scenario that you presented, but you don't forget that there is what is called settlement salary across the industrial world of the world. If somebody is being paid 10,000 and the person comes from a far distance, but you don't forget that by the good service of that person, tomorrow the company or the institution will begin to pay the person 250,000 to 300,000. From the salary bracket of 10,000 to 250 or 300,000. People should obey the instructions, the rules and principles of where they work, and everything will work well. Thank you, Brother Jude.
All right, thank you very much. I think it's good that people get to be reminded that yes, obey the ethics, do what you need to do. But there are times when there's some problem in the office, in the supermarket, in the shop where you are. But the question is, how do you enforce proper discipline?
Nigeriainfo.
28 minutes gone past the hour, and it's time for us to get back to our conversations. We're talking about office space discipline. Now, somebody's done something wrong at your office or your business. It happens sometimes intentionally because some people are hard of hearing. Other times it could be an oversight, maybe a bit of carelessness and the like. What exactly and how exactly should you do what needs to be done to correct said behavior? That is the focus of our conversation this morning. Once again, for those of us who are just joining the conversation, let me just quickly give a preamble. Now, this morning I got to see a video of an owner of a barber salon who comes in, sees one of his staff members not wearing the prescribed attire, prescribed uniform, tells him, "I've warned you to always wear our company logo when you are in this office. Why are you not wearing it?" Boy couldn't give a very cogent reason. And then this owner goes on to destroy, with a pair of scissors, destroy the outfit that this young man had on. Now, I think it was a skit. I really do think it's a skit. I do, because of how smooth the video ran and the way the camera angles were taken. I think it's a skit. But skit or not, right? It brought flashbacks of me going to boutiques back in those days, right? At my one, what's that street called? There's one very popular street where we used to go and buy clothes, right? Just nearly opposite the bridge before you get to the park, right? In fact, as you get to the park and you just walk through the corners, this place where you have boutiques, just go buy your clothes. That's where we used to go to back in those days. And it brought back flashbacks of me going there with some older friends to try and buy new jeans, pairs of jeans and shirts, and then the owner slapping the living daylight. You know when somebody gets slapped and everybody in the vicinity feels the pain? That's how it felt that day. This man slapped this apprentice of his, or this worker, this sales boy or sales person of his, for something that was very minimal. You know, it wasn't like the person burned down the shop, but the person apparently put XL where it was meant to be L. You know, so basically disorganized. I can understand yelling. I can understand, hey, please just step outside. Don't spoil my business. But what I couldn't understand was this slap that boy received, right? It felt like he had done something serious, something that, warranted that slap. Everybody say, call the man. Oh, guy, don't do. You two, they beat this boy. I will never forget that experience. You two, they beat this boy. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is the reality of many Nigerian workers, many Port Harcourt workers. As we speak now, there is some girl in one office whose oga will come and yell, "You have not brought this thing. You have not brought this file." And then as the girl is coming, he yells at her, "Please, you are an idiot of a human being. I will sack you." You're meant to correct. Yes, it's meant to be disciplined. Whatever it is. The question is, how should it be done? 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0007, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. All right? At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH. WhatsApp, Telegram, available on 0809-030-6416. As always, turn down the volume of your radio set, refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments, then see or hear, please make no mention of it. Very importantly, keep your conversations civil.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
Hello, Port Harcourt, with Jude on 92.3 Nigeriainfo.
92.3, hello Port Harcourt, good morning to you.
Yeah, Jude, Mr. Zion, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Mr. Zion.
I will tie this discourse to two of our previous discourse which we had the one you had with us one time about the Gen Z and our work ethics, and the one we had yesterday, the stick and carrot approach in our organization. Now let us start from this other side. The problem we still have here, number one, is that primitive colonial mentality that when somebody is working under us, we are the boss, they are the slave. We have not yet cleaned our mindset or outgrown from this mentality of subjugating people to the background. If they don't have money, they are not our class. I employ you to come and work here, you must answer yes, sir. Or you leave. Because of what? There is no job out there. So the person has no choice than to struggle. I can owe you salary for 6 months. You can go, do whatever. Even the law will not protect you. Even you cannot protect yourself until we do away with this mentality. This is what now brings about to the discourse you brought about the Gen Zs. Why are they not working in an environment, or why are they finding it difficult? We should talk about the work ethics. Now, it's not just the work ethics. I told you, we make our workplace too toxic for them, which means we don't give them a chance to make mistake and learn. Rather, we shout, we hail, we slap, we beat, we chase them, we call them, we accuse them, they steal, everything. It now narrows down to the yesterday discourse. How can you absorb people working under you? Your house help. Let us only call them maid. Leave that word maid. House help. How do you handle them? Your gate man. How do you take him? You are paying him 20,000 naira at a critical time in our economy. Are you not atlas? Are you not worse than the slave masters?
Oh, I can't. I'm not here to make excuses for how much people make, because then again, you have to ask how much are these individuals making. But the focus right now is the discipline in the workspaces. Now, somebody made mention that in their workspace, somebody did something wrong and they sacked the person. They did not humiliate the person, and that's why I'm asking. So, how do you treat somebody like say your worker, instead of putting salt inside the stew, goes and puts sugar, or instead of sweeping and removing the trash, he now puts it in front of your entrance, whether by omission or commission? How do you enforce discipline?
That is why, I always say this thing. I don't talk for people to listen to me. If I talk and you are listening, you are going to react. I talk for you to reason. Reason, underline that word. Reason with me. Sir, I use the word, can we allow them to make mistake and correct them? Allow them to make mistake and correct them. Because you are the boss does not make you are the almighty. Because you employ them does not make you the almighty. No. Okay, they put pepper too much for this soup today. Can you remove that soup? One. And reduce it from the salary for about the next 6 months? I've done that. I have done that. One of the cooks we employed, I don't know what kind of a mistake. Pepper too much for the food. How much was this soup you cook? Okay, Abi, 6 months. We'll touch them from your salary. Did the person learn? Yes. Did it affect the person? I don't know. But did they go through a period that, look, I'm here to learn? Okay, go under Nkechi. Go and stay under Nkechi and learn how to cook this native soup. Make you carry pepper full people. Because most of our customers, some of them are hypertensive. They don't like pepper. They don't like salt. The truth is this. You don't just keep punishing people like that. It's a generation. We talk about the Gen Z. If you frustrate them, they will leave you. Even a father, frustrate your picking too much, you go walk out, come out from the house. I will hear a story. My daughter left the house. Go stay with people. Don't chase your daughter out of the house. Your toxicity at home. You will never allow them to make mistakes. So even your office, today, why most people are still where they are, amidst the punishment they are going through in that organization, is because if they leave now, there is no job waiting outside for them. So they're only mark timing. The day they will get opportunity, they will leave you even without dropping a note for you. Please, let's accommodate people. Let's give them the chance to make mistakes and learn, improve, and call you a mentor. Most of us want to call Oyedepo our mentor. We want to call Mark Zuckerberg our mentor.
Okay.
Why can't they call you their mentor? Why can't you mentor them in that office? Why can't they say Mr. Jude as their mentor? Why can't they say Mr. Zion as their mentor? Always I shout at them, I subjugate them. Get out. No, come here. You are this, you are that. Let me stop here, Mr. Zion.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Zion. WhatsApp, Chiago says the street name is Sangana. Yes, Sangana Street in my one. Yes, that's where we used to go and buy clothes back there. Now, Jude, labor exploitation is common in Nigeria today. Many employers of labor hide under the flimsy excuse of unemployment to cheat and impoverish their workers. But Jude, I must say that those who exploit labor would end up having monkeys as their staff. John, wow, Google with that comment. Interesting. 90.3 Nigeriainfo. Good morning, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year.
I wish you the same Happy New Year to you. Welcome.
Okay, first of all, my name is Maz. I'm coming from Port Harcourt. I want to say something.
Yes, please.
When you talk about people misbehaving or not keeping to the rules of the company, it has to do with the company's bad treatment to the workers. I'll give you instances. If you watch back maybe 20 years back, you see how the oil companies were treating the Nigerian citizens. They treat them with kindness. They treat them as humans and all that. They give them whatever they do to them. But check, in we start using our local content, for example, being the managerial level. They denied with their product. Maybe, for instance, if you are to receive maybe 200,000 naira for an hour, they say, no, it's too much, don't give it to the person. Give him 10,000. You will see a manager or somebody, the driver was supposed to close maybe by 5 o'clock. He will use him till he go and carry my wife, go and do it, go and do your one. It's 10 o'clock. And if you try to speak your faith, he will give you credit. Because he need to sack you. Why is it that we even want to do cleaning in abroad? Because it's very human being that even as a cleaner, that you are working for yourself to make sure that you put food on your family table. So that is why you have to work. So they have to give you your respect. Now, somebody, if you want to talk about this subsidy, do you see anybody speaking for any ordinary person like 20,000 naira, just get another? No. They only talk about 7,000. So nobody will increase your salary, even when you are coming from Obi with a salary. Even when you are coming from Element Junction, going to other judge. Even when you are coming to Nigeriainfo, all those things, nobody. Do you see any regulation when it comes to transportation? Nobody cares. So everybody does whatever they like. So how can the person who is working for you be normal? They'll be abnormal. They'll be like crazy people.
But does that then justify humiliating a staff because the person, did something wrong or is not meeting up to your target?
I'm trying to bring the two together. It does not. So that's what I'm saying, that you see somebody, humiliating somebody because nobody will talk about it. All of us on social media, maybe one big boy will want to come up and say, I will take care of this person because of. It's happening every day. It is happening every day. So when you know that is why the multinational company, when the whites were here, they take you for a training. You can't know it all. You go to do matters because you don't know it all. You go to do village because you don't know it all. Everybody will just carry key and put it in a stand and just kind of, you have to go and learn how to drive. Even as you learn how to have science. So for the Nigerian system, they will not teach you anything. Even look at road safety, they will just allow you to make a mistake. Even police allow you to just take a U-turn. It's not telling you, no, go back, this is a U-turn, go back. No, you'll be arrested. So not everybody understands that. You know the 100% of drivers in Nigeria don't know what is science. So they didn't just go to school. If you go, they don't give you the driver's license. So a lot of things are wrong. There's no training in Nigeria. So you don't blame anybody because you can't know it all. If you bring somebody from the village now, Everything happens. That's why it's an opportunity to travel abroad. You see the person mindset return. You not see the person, you limit it on the road. Someone said, no, you don't do this. This is what you do it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Thank you very much. 9.3, good morning. Hello, Port Harcourt. Hello, good morning. Oh, dear. Okay, all right. Let me get to read messages. Jude, good morning. You see, the average Nigerian person believes that when they're able to have a business and that business has lasted more than 3 or 4 years, they have arrived. It's not unusual to have a manager, a boss, or a CEO of any company, whatever the company is, shout down at their workers. There are very few managers who understand how life works and genuinely tries to get people to meet them at their level. If not, why would any manager of any company, particularly companies where they have menial jobs, want to see the same person at his business every day for 5, 6 years? Nigerians are wicked people, Jude. If somebody's your gate man for 3, 4 years, don't you think it's time that person goes on to find a better job? No. Instead, the average Nigerian man, the average Nigerian boss the average Nigerian boss or average Nigerian man, I don't know why you use man though, would give people just enough so they can come to work and tell them it's because they like them. That's why they still have a job. Okay. I see how this conversation is bringing different facets of our, labor inadequacies here in Nigeria. I can appreciate the fact. And it's interesting that some of you are also linking it to economic and societal constraints. But once again, let me surgically bring you back to the meat of the matter. You have an employer. You have an employee. That's the person when they find work or the person when go do the work. He is the employee. The owner of the company or the person who has that job to be done is the employer. Now, you, the employee, you've done something wrong. It's very clear. Right? It's very clear. You have done something wrong, either by omission or commission. That means either you did it intentionally or it was a mistake, an oversight. You forgot yourself. You slept. There have been cases where people who were meant to be managing a particular item or a particular shift, they sleep. They're human beings, right? And then maybe something overshoots or something goes bad. All right. So what does the rule and regulations say, in the management of those kind of scenarios? That's what we're looking at. How do you get about disciplining your staff members? On social media, there are videos of shop owners stripping their staff members. There are scenarios where your salary is about to be paid or it gets paid, and then your guy calls you after it gets paid. You don't receive salary, say yes, and you don't feel talk anything. And then there are scenarios that the owner of the company is coming to work. Everybody's in the office. As soon as the man comes in, they all rise up like that in SS1. All of them. And I'm not making this up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm saying what I have seen with my own eyes. They all rise up. Oh, guys, come to work. Good morning, sir. Your Excellency, ruler of the nations, defender of the defenseless. Welcome. Every morning. So if the person does anything wrong, the guy calls them. I think there's no head of the managers that slap their employees. What are we saying? There's a very popular man in Edo State. He used to be one of the wealthiest men in Edo State. He was very popular for slapping his staff members. And I'm not talking about masons or gate men. No. Engineers, doctors, accountants, all of them go collect. If he's angry, slaps. A full-grown man. Until he met somebody, he slapped the person rubbing hands, slap him back. Once again, we're not promoting violence, but the question is, we know that people do wrong in your businesses. So how do you correct them? How do you enforce discipline? How do you ensure that your staff members come to work at 7:30 a.m. in the morning and not 8:30 strolling like they're working in one of the federal parastatals that they don't care? 90.3. Good morning. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Hello. Yes, Jude.
Good morning.
I am back here.
Welcome out.
The wicked network yapped me off.
Apologies.
Jude, Happy New Year once again to you.
Thank you.
You see, Jude, in law, I'm not a lawyer, but in elementary law, it said that the object of criminal liability is to deter others from committing similar offense. Having said so, every establishment has its rules and regulations. Either before you are employed, you are meant to know. Just like within the Nigerian police, if a police officer commits an infraction that would mean to be a criminal offense, first and foremost, the police officer will be tried within the setting, and the police officer will be charged for failure to supply necessary before going to the conventional court, if needs dismissal. What am I saying? You, if you know the pain to go through to register a company, you will understand that every of your employees should abide by the rules of engagement.
Okay, fair enough.
Having said so, why the system broke down? Because the government is number one culprit. We have a constitution that provides that rule of law should be the authorized thing to do. The government, whom we surrender our sovereignty to, have refused to carry out these activities with the rule of law. This discussion we are having now, the number one culprit is the government. Are you aware that demonstration teachers who got judgment in a court have not yet been paid by the River State government? June, are you aware that teachers, lecturers, and whoever polytechnic that were sacked have not been called back?
But I understand that narrative, but the question still is far away from what we are talking about. So somebody has done something wrong. How do you correct them, sir? Because you're making a very broad statement. It's very valid that, yes, this has to be done.
Listen, I'm wearing the background. What is the crime this person committed before the government is punishing them? What are the crimes? What is the crime of human that was disbanded? A creation of law number 6 of 2009. What is that crime? I'm talking about crime now, relationship between the employer and the employee. What is that crime? Nothing. Because the society is lacking rule of law. In China, today, they are who they are today because of discipline, because of rule of law. People are meant to obey the law. But today, flagrantly, people call themselves politicians, moving boisterously with disregard to the public. It's rule of law, that is the problem. Good morning, Jude. God bless you. Let us go.
All right, thank you very much. Well, as regarding your statement about Team Arif, what they do, well, they did a lot of things. They were heavy-handed, they were corrupt, they were violent, they misappropriated the instruments given to them to enforce traffic regulations. They were underhanded dealings, and let's not forget that apart from the fact that they decided to extort people, because back then, if you were caught, with the traffic or you were caught for traffic violation, you would qualify to be sent to the psychiatric hospital for evaluation, and that was at your own expenses. These people weaponized. They weaponized justice, all right? They weaponized rules and regulations, the same ethics, right, to their own profits. They weaponized it. So if it didn't happen to you, right, do not discredit, do not discount those who suffered greatly at the hands of these or those individuals. WhatsApp 0809-030-6416. Now, a lot of tyrants are like the playground bully. They move mad till they see someone who's willing to move madder. In Nigeria, industrial court calendar is clogged for even those employees who know they have legal recourse, and there is no way to enforce judgment against some employers. Jude, do you know in Abuja we have people who flog their domestic staff, tell them to kneel under the hot sun and raise their hands in front of other staff? I'm talking about adult domestic staff. Can you imagine? Adults. The weird part is that those staff remain slavishly loyal to their employers. The ones that treat them kindly are the ones that see premium shege. It's like the staff don't expect or want to be treated like human beings. We also had a celebrated senator we call the slapping senator. She slapped male, female, married, single from her tribe and from other tribes, older than her, younger than her. As long as you worked for her, you were liable to get slapped, and nobody did anything. They kept showing up for work until she put hands on a man at a meeting outside Abuja, and he showed her that, hey, we don't do that here. It doesn't make sense. Samson says, working in a black man's company is a gateway to hell. I have seen enough. Never again. Wow. There are job descriptions at every work from the start so that anyone who has been treated wrongly for misconduct is justified. Well, once again, some of you have every right to be offended at the actions or the inactions of some of your staff. But it has to be said, degrading, embarrassing them, publicly humiliating them may not be the way forward.
For more talk